There's something nobody tells you about extremely beautiful women. The more beautiful she is, the less stable her sense of self usually becomes. And it's not because she's weak, it's because her brain was trained differently from everyone else. When a woman grows up being constantly noticed, constantly desired, constantly validated, her nervous system adapts to that reality. She doesn't experience attention as something special. She experiences it as normal. From a young age, people treat her differently. They forgive her faster. They help her more. They tolerate behaviors they wouldn't tolerate from others. And without realizing it, her brain learns a dangerous lesson. Her value comes from being wanted, not from who she is internally, but from how others react to her externally. Psychologists describe this as a fragile self-concept built on reflected appraisal. It means your identity doesn't form from the inside out. It forms from the outside in. You don't discover who you are. You become whoever the mirror of other people's reactions tells you to be. And that mirror is never stable. It shifts with every room you enter, every person you meet, every phase of life you move through. Think about what happens the first time a child realizes that crying gets them picked up. They don't decide to use it as a tool. Their brain simply records the pattern. Reaction equals relief. Over time, that pattern becomes the only pattern they know. For her, the pattern was different, but the mechanism was identical. Every moment of being desired, being chosen, being seen, registered as safety. Not consciously. Neurologically, her brain didn't learn that attention was pleasant. It learned that attention meant she was okay. And anything that confirms you're okay becomes something your nervous system will quietly organize your entire life around protecting. So when attention drops, and it always does, something deeper than disappointment activates. It isn't sadness, it isn't insecurity in the way most people use that word. It's the nervous system reading a familiar signal as absent and interpreting that absence as danger. This is why you start seeing emotional instability. She overthinks small changes. She feels insecure without clear reason. She seeks reassurance, not because she's weak, but because her brain was trained to rely on external signals to feel safe. Then social media arrived, and it didn't just amplify the problem, it completely rewired it. Before social media, attention had natural limits. It came from people physically around you. It faded when you left the room. There was a biological ceiling to how much validation a person could receive in a day. That ceiling no longer exists. Now a single photo can generate thousands of reactions in hours. Her nervous system, already calibrated to external input, suddenly has access to an unlimited supply. It's the difference between someone who drinks socially and someone who discovers they can drink infinitely, for free, with no consequences visible in the short term. Her brain adapts to that level of stimulation. A normal reality can't compete with it. Normal attention feels quiet. Normal relationships feel flat. Normal stability feels like absence, not because something is wrong with her, but because her nervous system was trained in excess, and now ordinary life registers like withdrawal. This is where most men make a critical mistake. They assume beauty reflects psychological strength. It doesn't. Beauty reflects genetics, not emotional stability, not resilience, not internal security. Some of the most beautiful people you will ever meet are also the most psychologically fragile, because their identity was built on reactions, not foundations, and reactions are temporary. What nobody builds in them, and what almost nobody builds in themselves either, is the capacity to exist fully without being perceived, to have a sense of self that doesn't fluctuate with the room, to know who you are in silence, in stillness, in the moments when no one is choosing you and no one is watching. That capacity is rare in beautiful women, in people in general, but it's the only thing that actually holds over time. Attraction is biological, compatibility is psychological, and the man who understands this stops chasing intensity and starts recognizing what actually lasts. The real question was never how beautiful she is. It's who she becomes when nobody is looking. That version nobody talks about. But that's the only version that stays.